Accept me and I shall live. Do not disappoint me in my hope. Accept me, O Lord, as you have promised. Accept me and I shall live. Do not disappoint me in my hope.
Benedictines take the three vows of obedience, stability, and one that's usually left untranslated, conversatio morum, or when we attempt to translate it, it's something like conversion of manners or conversion of life.
Accept me, O Lord, as you have promised.
And obedience, of course, it's an imitation of Christ himself. His greatest act of love upon the cross was his perfect obedience to the Father's will.
Glory be to the Father and to the Son.
Stability is kind of our monastic no divorce law. When there's trouble in the family, you don't leave, you don't abandon anyone, you don't threaten anyone by saying you either do it my way or I'm out of here. You know, we're here, St. Benedict was forming a family. You don't abandon your family when things aren't going your way. Conversatio morum. In a way, it's the vow that we promise to daily work at our conversion. And within that the vow of conversatio morum, we would also find poverty and chastity.
Well, like it says in Matthew, that this is something that Christ asked some of his followers to embrace for the sake of the kingdom. So this is one of the ways in which we model our own lives after that of Christ himself, who embraced consecrated virginity, was himself a virgin, and made himself available to his Father and to his followers for the sake of the kingdom of heaven.
Part of this life, because we are dedicated to God, is the giving up of a wife and a family. And that's, in a sense, it's not an easy thing. In another sense, God calls us, and God gives us the grace. So to be a celibate, to live without a wife and without a family, isn't a thing that one pines over all the time. When you make vows, you realize this is a part of it, and you accept that. So you don't endure it, you embrace it.
It is meant to be one of the ways in which a man who is seeking priesthood or the religious life, or a woman who's seeking religious life, to come to an intense spiritual union with Christ himself, and ultimately with the Divine Trinity. And the spiritual tradition of the Church is unanimous in saying that this is not only possible, but even likely if a person embraces this with generosity. And over the centuries, we have seen through the countless examples of saints that giving up marriage and family life has unlocked a tremendous spiritual potential